All right, everyone, we are back from the weekend and we're going to jump right into today's life coaching message. And today's message is based on a couple of conversations I've had recently around career transitioning. I'm really intrigued by people's mindset around leaving one job for another job. And this isn't anybody's message, today to go quit your job. So I don't want you to think that up front. But I do want to make a couple points about jobs or moving from one job to another. Moving from one job to another can be very detrimental. But however, moving from one career to another career could be very beneficial. And it's the mindset behind people that really intrigues me with this, because they feel or they felt they were starting over. And in some way that may be true. You may have spent 5, 6, 7, 8 years in one career and you decide to start, go to another career, and you are technically day one over there, but that doesn't mean you're starting over. You have built, you developed yourself over 5, 6, 7, 8 years over here. You've learned skills, you've learned techniques, you've learned leadership, and you're taking that and you're building on it in a new career over here. That's not starting over. That is advancement. That is progress. That is moving into your next chapter. And the other mindset was that, well, Daniel, it's a lot of wasted years. Again, it's not wasted years, it's years of growth, it's years of development. It's only wasted if you do nothing with it. That is where it becomes a waste. All right. And it's not about abandoning your past or abandoning the company that spent time on you, because I promise you this, and this is a hard pill for people to swallow, but the day you leave, you give them 30 days or less, they are going to have you replaced. Okay, that is just the truth of the matter. It's not abandoning your job, it's aligning with your current or your experience where you're currently at. Maybe the job you're at just isn't aligned with you anymore, and that's perfectly fine. You can take the skills you learned there and move it into your next chapter. So the one thing I would tell you is, don't ask the question, well, Daniel, I spent 12, 15 years at this job, they're not aligned with me anymore, and I'm just going to work and I'm going through the motions. Is it too late for me to start a new career or start at a new company? And the answer to that is no. You shouldn't ask yourself if it's too late. What you should be asking yourself is that what if everything I've learned, everything that I spent for the last decade and a half over here was to build me up and transition me into this new role? That's what you should be asking yourself. Growth really begins when you start to travel into the unknown. When you look at that and it's a little unsure, that's a good thing. So one thing I would encourage you to, as you think about your career and your growth and where you want to go, is maybe sometimes you're only meant to be in a certain job for a season. Okay, and after that season, you move into a new position, a new career, and you're there for just a season. Okay, but if you want very true freedom, okay, I would encourage you to look into going into business for yourself. Okay, I know I've said a lot and we're kind of transitioning here just a little bit, but there is no freedom like being in business for yourself. And that's why I encourage people not to be afraid of career transitions, because you may have spent 5, 8 years with the company, okay, because 5, 8 years ago you weren't ready to start your company. But you learned under a CEO, you learned under a COO, you learned under managers who have the knowledge on how to start and run a business. And you were meant to learn those things from them, and now you have the confidence to go out and start one of your own. So don't be afraid of career transition. Make sure you do it with the right mindset, though, and that you're not just every year to 2 years job hopping, because that is not good. That is not where you're going to get developed, because companies aren't going to develop you if you're only there for a short period of time. Okay, stay the course, develop yourself, learn what you need to learn, and move into your next chapter with confidence.